headlines for this evening. Locally, Handlers Road residents invited to NIA Town Hall meeting, and the Ministry of Agriculture awards outstanding agriculturalists and staff members. The details are straight ahead. Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast for today, Friday, March 27th, 2015. I'm your presenter for this evening, Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Yesterday's opening ceremony of the 21st Annual Agriculture Open Day saw a number of awards being presented to both staff of the Department of Agriculture as well as the island's agriculturalists by Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers. The 2014 Most Outstanding Agriculturalists are Junior Jonas for crop farming, Donald Daniel for the most throughput at the marketing division, Livingston Hanley for livestock farming, Auretius Jones for the most throughput at the abattoir, Ehud Mills Fisher for 2014, and Wilberth Perkins for the most throughput at the Fisheries Complex. In the Department of Agriculture, Outstanding Staff Awards for 2014 went to Shazia Hadley in the Clerical Division, Davin Smithen in the Marketing Division, Idita Freeman in the Agro-Processing Unit, Donald Morgan for the Abattoir, Cardin Watley for the Veterinary Division, Elvin Sutton and Travis Swanston for the Small Farms Equipment Pool, Rhonda Vivas for Propagation in the Extension Division, Jane Greenway for Prospect, Andrew Leach for Indian Castle, Diolal Gurdhari for New River, and Josephina Jimenez for Potworks. For the Livestock Division, James David for Madness and Hemchand Molprasad for Indian Castle. Director of Agriculture Keith Lee Amory, in his remarks, thanked all those who played a part in making the 21st Annual Agriculture Open Day a success.
The Department of Agriculture would therefore like to thank all the ornamental growers, crop and livestock farmers, agro-processors, craft producers, food vendors, our allied agencies and government departments for participating in this our 21st Annual Open Day activities. And to you, the general public, thanks once again for making our Open Day a success.
The 21st Agriculture Open Day is being held under the patronage of long-standing employee at the Department of Agriculture, Roslyn Cranston. The Nevis Island Administration, through its Ministry of Communications and Works, is inviting residents of Handlers Road and the surrounding areas to a town hall meeting at the Handlers Road Community Center at 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday, March 31st. The objective of that meeting is to discuss issues relating to the implementation of the Handlers Road Rehabilitation Project. Present will be Premier of Nevis and Area Representative, the Honorable Vance Amory, Junior Minister of Public Works, the Honorable Troy Liburd, representatives of the Ministry of Communications and Works, as well as the Public Works and Nevis Water Departments.
One might say, well, we should have done this before we started the work, but this has been in the making for such a long time that I think the people will not mind suffering a little inconvenience so that they can have a long-term benefit.
The Handlers Road Rehabilitation Project is going ahead at pace and will in the end be useful, especially to the residents of that community. Already a difference can be seen, Premier Amory says.
It will mean a little bit of inconvenience for the people because of the work being done. But the good thing is, having over the years before prepared ourselves for this, there are those side roads which people can use to move from their home in Handlers Road to the main road, which can to transact their business. I think it's important that we look and see that there was that long-term preparation for this event. The event is clearly some 9 or so years later than we had anticipated, but now it's on the road. I think people are going to be happy when it is done.
That was Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Vance Amory, as he, on Wednesday, March 25th, reported on matters in the NIA and the federal government. He also used the opportunity to thank the people of St. Kitts and Nevis for the support they have given to the National Unity Government.
Especially I want to thank the people of constituency number 10 in Nevis for their continued support of myself, so that I can continue to give them the type of representation and to provide the type of services which they want through the Nevis Island government. I think it's a wonderful opportunity to have been asked again to serve the people and to do so in a way which will bring benefit to all of you. And that is my pledge and commitment to the people of this country.
At the February 22nd inaugural ceremony, Amory was sworn in as Federal Minister responsible for Social Security, Labor and Nevis Affairs.
Let me say that all of these ministries, Ministry of Nevis Affairs, responsibility for Social Security and Labor, are also areas which I've had responsibility for in the Nevis administration since 2013. So what this has done is it has given me a broader scope, but still areas in which I have been operating in the last 2 years. And it is my intention to use these ministries to ensure that the people which or whom these ministries affect, that they get the best service, they get the most professional and efficient dealing with their matters, because it is important that we see people as being first in anything we do in government.
Amory is also the Federal Minister of Ecclesiastical Affairs. That ministry is also part of his portfolio in the NIA, as it is important that government and the church work together.
It is my intention to meet with representatives of the Christian councils and also of the evangelical associations, both in St. Kitts and in Nevis. I believe that it is important, as I said earlier, that we maintain this dialogue and that we see the church as part of the governing of our societies, because we cannot divide our people in their spiritual context from their secular context, because they are all one body. And it's important, therefore, to enlist the support and to work cooperatively and collaboratively with the church and the different church organizations in ensuring that our communities are well managed.
One area of concern to this ministry is the Federation's youth.
What do we do with our young people? What do we do with the people who are engaging in antisocial behavior? How can we enlist the church and the church organizations in helping to resolve those dilemmas which confront us so often and about which we lament so often? And I believe as minister, it is incumbent upon myself to engage the church and the church leaders in this dialogue so that we can find and we can formulate policies and action programs to alleviate this problem.
Premier of Nevis and the Senior Minister in the federal government, the Honorable Vance Amory. Coming up after the break, businesses urged to register employees for Toastmasters Club. Stay tuned.
Taxes are the lifeblood of a nation. Feel good about what your tax dollars do in Nevis. As a responsible citizen, your tax dollars support caring for the elderly. Pay your taxes on time. This message was brought to you by the Inland Revenue Department, Nevis.
Be a responsible citizen.
Welcome back. As the Department of Youth and Sports makes preparations to charter a Toastmasters club here in Nevis, Coordinator of Youth Development, Zanella Claxton, is inviting employers to take advantage of the benefits that such an organization offers. Toastmasters International is a non-profit educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills through a worldwide network of 188 clubs.
I would like to send an encouragement to the business owners and the employers to also think about getting some of your employees registered. If you are an organization, especially if you have your leaders within your organization, some businesses in, for example, St. Martin, Dominica, they have decided to pay the Toastmasters fee for their employees so that their employees can be a part of the program. One thing to note as well is that the Toastmasters International office sends a letter to your employer at the end of each module. As long as you finish a section, that the Toastmasters International sends a letter to your employer telling your employer everything you've completed and what skills you have gained through that module.
According to Claxton, members are required to pay a $20 charter fee as well as a $6 monthly fee to cover the materials required to complete the communication and leadership modules.
It might be a bit more difficult and take a lot more investment in terms of time, and I know several people on the island are very busy and you might not be able to do both at the same time. That is fine. You work according to the pace at which you want to work. One of the things that the governor, when she visited, and the other Toastmasters who came with her, stated to us is that we want, or there are several opportunities for Toastmasters past the communicator stage. As soon as you get up to the advanced stages, then you're able to travel throughout the world to present. There are competitions that you can compete in. You can go to present. Each year within the Caribbean, there are workshops that you can attend. There are trainings which you can attend. You can present your speeches. You can vie to be a presenter. So as you go through the different stages of the organization, you are not only developing yourself personally but professionally.
Tomorrow's Toastmasters Club meeting, which will be held at 7 p.m. at the Department of Youth and Sports, located on the second floor of the Reliable Motors Miniplex, will also include the election of club officers. And finally, registration remains open for the Department of Youth and Sports Camp Expression, in keeping with the theme Youth Arts Expression for the April observance of Youth Month. Parents and guardians of children between the ages of 5 and 16 are advised that registration forms are available at the Department of Youth and Sports. Camp Expression will run from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. from Tuesday 7th to Friday 17th April at the Charlestown Primary School.
We expect a huge turnout as per usual. Students will be given a Camp Expression t-shirt. They will be taken on several field trips. They'll be shown the importance of using the arts for expression as well as the potential for entrepreneurial and hobby activities through the arts. The camp fee is $35 per week. And as I said, the first week, they will take some field trips. They'll be exposed to some local artists in the various performing visual, graphic, and culinary arts. They will also be shown methods, and they will be taught how to do some of the arts and some of the crafts. At the end of the entire camp session, on the final Friday, which is April 17th, we will do our arts expression presentation, where our students will be able to demonstrate their performances in song, dance, drama, and you will also get to see an exhibition of the work that they did throughout camp.
That's it for tonight's edition of the Nevis Newscast. Thank you for viewing. Good night.